Maj Gen Muhoozi Kainerugaba has revealed that he will play a much larger security advisory role, which will dovetail aspects of the military, police and national security. He made the comments while speaking during an interview with NTV held in Entebbe.
I'll be advising the President and Commander-in-Chief on enhancing the capabilities of our special operation forces. There are some in the military, there are some in police and in other areas. But there will also be an element of national security as well, advice on national security. And also when I was a commander of SFC, I was focused on that formation. But now, when you talk of all these special operation forces that are available, and when you expand that to talk about national security as well, that's a different platform from just commanding the Special Forces Command.
Last week, the Commander-in-Chief, President Yoweri Museveni, reshuffled the army and moved Kainerugaba from the Special Forces Command to a new role as the Presidential Advisor on Special Operations. Kainerugaba has been at the helm of an elite army which possesses motorized, mechanized and armory units. The unit also guards the President and key security installations. The SFC has gradually morphed from the Presidential Protection Unit under Akanga Byarhanga to the Presidential Guard Brigade and finally to a fully fledged fighting force. With its disposition towards restoring sanity in the volatile Great Lakes and the restive Horn of Africa enclave, the Special Forces Command continues to grow in combat experience.
Our work with regards to infrastructure development, which we have achieved a lot in the time I was in command. We have done a lot to tackle issues like improving accommodation, improving training facilities. So that's a big achievement.
However, critics believe Kainerugaba's military trajectory is not by accident, but by design. A coterie of young cadet officers, intake 6, graduated on September 21, 2000 at the Gaddafi School of Infantry. Amongst them was Kainerugaba, who joined the elite Sandhurst and Fort Leavenworth military academies. Some observers believe that the military seeds planted in Kainerugaba will later sprout and help him to ascend to the presidency as part of a carefully calibrated plot orchestrated by his father. It's a theory he discounts.
That so-called project is non-existent. It simply does not exist.
As a presidential advisor, Kainerugaba will have the modicum of freedom to understand the rough and tumble of elective politics while keeping an eye on security. Observers believe this will give him a deep understanding of civil relations after spending over 16 years in the army.
As far as this new position, preparing me for politics, I think that's what you're trying to say. I don't think that's the case, because I know, and most people know, the path to politics. It's different from the one I'm on right now. So if I retired and went and stood in my constituency, then you'd say, okay, now he is now taking on a political career. But this is far from that. I'm still within the national security framework of the country.
Would you consider joining politics, elective or otherwise?
Right now, that's not on my radar at all, as I said before, because we're looking at other tasks. I'm going to be focused on my new job, my new role. I'm not considering a political career right now.
A viewer will say you're not considering it right now, but you could consider it.
Again, we're back to hypotheticals. I don't like dealing in hypotheticals.
There are fears that even as he takes on his new role, he will still oversee the SFC under what many believe is his protege, Colonel Don Nabasa.
No, things don't operate like that. The new commander is experienced, he is capable, he has had a long period of time within PPU, PGB, SFC, so he knows what the work entails. He doesn't need somebody looking over his shoulder. He will have full command as the commander. If he asks for advice, I'm always willing to provide advice to anybody, not only my successor.
I also asked him about the role of the army in the country's politics.
You cannot have the civilian population here, the military here, the economy here, isolated from each other, mutually exclusive. The way the world looks at national security now is that all things are connected. There's interconnection. So if you say from partisan politics, yes, but you cannot divorce security from the other aspects of the nation or of national security.
Okay,
economics.
maybe if I could just rephrase, the politics that I'm talking about is involvement in politics, where we saw, say, just this last year in Feb, where the army and the military in general were accused of actively participating in politics by, quote-unquote, curtailing dissent, curtailing people that they thought were against the NRM.
Well, I'm not going to comment on that. That is now you're trying to put me in partisan politics.
As the old guard retire, the young Turks now occupy what had been preserved for those who fought on the treacherous battlefront, anchored on the kingpin philosophy.
They have the experience, they have the training, and they are still relatively young. So I think it's a good team, and I think they're going to do a good job.
Sheila Nduhukire, NTV.